Good evening, and welcome to our virtual Back to School Night presentation for Fashion Illustration. I am Mrs. Charmello. I am ready to make this school year one of the best yet. Together, we will learn and create. If there is anything that I know, it's that with hard work, kindness, and a bit of grit, we can accomplish anything we set our minds to. I went to school in Saraville from kindergarten through 12th grade. I attended Montclair State University, where I played field hockey and lacrosse and was an illustration major with a double major in fine arts education. I always wanted to be a teacher. I went to school for a long time, trying to decide what content area to major in. I had a realization that much of who I am, I owe to teachers. They helped me realize a potential inside of me. My purpose for being here is to do the same for you. A brief overview of tonight's virtual meeting. A quick hello, meet Mrs. Charmello, classroom information, classroom assessment categories, course overview, grade expectations, Google Classroom sign-in, and how to Google Meet. Welcome. I am Mrs. Charmello. I have been teaching for the past 21 years, 20 here in Saraville. As a former Saraville graduate, I take a lot of pride in providing Saraville students with the best educational experience that I can. I wear a lot of hats here at SWMHS. I am the head varsity lacrosse coach. I am the head varsity field hockey coach. I am one of the co-advisors to the Tomorrow's Teachers program, and I am an art teacher. Being involved in these activities and courses allows me to get to know a large portion of the SWMHS student body. I teach the following courses this year. I teach Fashion Illustration, Introduction to Art, Introduction to Tomorrow's Teachers, Tomorrow's Teachers and Honors Level course for seniors, and Advanced Placement Art History. Classroom information. Our daily schedule is 7:30 a.m. start time for period 1. We end the day with period 8 at 12:30 p.m. There are daily office hours from 1:12 to 2:12. In terms of homework, students will have ample class time to work on weekly projects. They are to complete all daily assignments, work on each assignment for an ample amount of time, Monday through Friday, and prepare for all assessments. On the left-hand side, you will see an example of a grading rubric. Students will be able to identify the required items that should be included in each project. Some things that we might be doing within our class. We will be working on sketchbook drawings. We will work on some writing prompts, some large-scale projects, quizzes, videos, digital notebooks, quick sketches, discussion, reaction to art, and following our rubrics. Fashion illustration. Illustration courses are offered through SWMHS as an elective course for any student interested in the fashion field. Students in these courses develop their own sense of style while preparing work that can be used in print and web publications for ads or design purposes and as portfolio pieces. The Fashion Illustration Drawing course will allow you to draw amazing fashion illustrations. Designers who have the power to communicate visually have a big advantage in the world of fashion. This course is great for anyone who wants to prepare a fashion portfolio, design and draw fashion illustrations, or become an illustrator. Course overview. This course is as it sounds. It is an exploration of fashion illustration. This course is meant to introduce students who are interested in art and drawing to the world of fashion illustration and design. Students signing up for this course should have a lot of experience in drawing. This course is very drawing intensive and not for the weak at effort. Although the fashion designers of today use mostly computer programs to design fashions, he or she started off and universities are also still using the old-fashioned way of teaching fashion illustration, as well as teaching computer programs. Students in this class will be expected to sketch hundreds of people, women and men, to study current and past fashion designers and create final illustrations. They will study designs from direct observation and basically experience the overall process of illustrating fashion up until the sewing portion. Students are responsible for many things during this course. All students are expected to come to class and come to class on time. Each student is expected to come to class to work. Each assignment has a due date, and it is the student's responsibility to turn in all projects on time. It is up to the individual student to make up any missing work. The objectives for this class are to have students gain an understanding of fashion style in the design world, to explore and learn new sketching and drawing techniques, to improve overall artistic abilities, to tap into creative depths of their own mind, to be able to look at his or her own work objectively and critique it constructively, to gain respect and learn to care for art supplies in a mature way. Also, to have fun and create beautiful pieces of art. We have a timeline of projects. Week 1, we were introduced to the class, we did some assessment drawings, and we talked about proportion. In week 2, we began to create croquis. We also created a timeline of fashion from the 1900s to the current present time. In week 3, we are beginning an illustration process. We will learn how illustrators use techniques and materials to create different drawings. After this week, we will learn how to draw faces and heads, and we will jump into some fall fashion prompts. Week 5 and 6 will be dinner and evening wear. Week 6 and 7 will be urban wear. Week 7 and 8 will be style illustrations. And week 8 and 9 will be our quarterly project. Classroom policies. All students are expected to have and exhibit a higher level of maturity. Students will talk with respect to all who are in the room and on a Google Meet. Students will be expected to participate in all classroom and homework activities. Students should come to class on time, be seated quietly, and wait for instructions. In the following video, I will show you the art grading rubric and discuss the grading system for this class. To discuss grading, this is a sample of a rubric that could possibly be used for a landscape assignment and introduction to art. So we are discussing 3 different topics within the class prior to the students completing the assignment. We talk about foreground, middle ground, and background. We talk about atmospheric perspective, and we talk about overlapping and size variation. So these are the specifics that I am giving to the students and asking them to complete within their project. In the first column, it's going to say that there is no understanding of foreground, middle ground, and background from what I am seeing visually within the project. That means that the student is receiving the least amount of points for the completion of this task. The second column shows us that they have slight understanding of what foreground, middle ground, and background refer to. And the third column shows that they are proficient. So they have achieved all the requirements of explaining to me visually what foreground, middle ground, and background would mean. Number 4 would be for students' work that is exceptional. So it's going above and beyond the basic requirements and putting in a touch of their own flair to the assignment. They have exceptional knowledge of foreground, middle ground, and background, and that is expressed visually. Let's say in atmospheric perspective. So in column 1, there's no use of atmospheric perspective whatsoever. Column 2, very limited amount of use of atmospheric perspective. And in column 3, it's meeting the general requirements for the project. Number 4, there's exceptional use. So it takes me to an entire new world, atmospheric perspective. size variation, so the work shows no understanding. The items closest to us would be extremely large compared to the middle ground, which is very similar in size, showing that the understanding of these two terms is misconstrued. The second column would show us that they have limited understanding. So they're showing very few items within the piece that are overlapping and have a size variation. In column 3, they have a considerable understanding. So the basic concept of overlapping and size variation is achieved throughout their piece. And in column 4, again, it's showing exceptional knowledge of the specific content. Here's a brief video as to how your students see Google Classroom and where they can access information.
Welcome back to another episode of Google Tech Tips. I am Mr. Vaca, and today I'll be going over a very brief tutorial of Google Classroom and all of the awesome different functions and abilities that it has, and some of the questions that both students and parents have asked me over the summer. So to get to Google Classroom, the very first thing that you need to do is log into your Google account. My first step is go to google.com. Once you're logged in, then I want you to click on what I like to call the waffle iron. You'll see that waffle iron in the very top right corner up here. Then you want to search for the icon that looks just like this, Google Classroom. If you can't find it, there might be a little button down below after the last row of apps that says Show More. If you click that Show More, you will then find Google Classroom pop up below. Once you click that icon, you will then be sent to your Google Classroom homepage. This is what a student's classroom looks like if you are in the middle school or high school level, where you bounce between different classrooms for each subject with a different teacher. If you are an elementary or primary student, you will most likely have only one classroom, which means you would only see one box here. Each one of these boxes is a different classroom if you are a middle school or high school student. So let's take a look at one of the classrooms where I am the student. What you want to do is click on the title of the class to go specifically to that classroom. So this is the student view of the classroom. I am a student, a member of the science committee, and the science department chair is the teacher for this classroom. As you can see, right here, the big main section is all of the different posts, announcements, and big items that are coming up in the classroom. This is like what you would say is a Facebook feed or a Twitter feed, where you will see chronologically all the different things or activities going on in the classroom. The left-hand side of the screen is broken into 3 categories. The top box in the top left corner shows what work is due soon, the next upcoming assignments. Right below the work due box, you will then see another section that has classroom folder, classroom calendar, and your Google Calendar. The teacher will put either the syllabus or other classroom materials, maybe their handouts, in the Google Classroom folder. So any materials that you maybe missed if you were absent, you click on that and you will see everything that the teachers posted. They also will have in their classroom schedule or classroom calendar all the different assignments, when they are due, maybe special events in there, and you can then link that through your Google Calendar located right below, so that when you open up your calendar, you can see, hey, this class has this due, this class has this item due, so on and so forth. The final box on the left side, the biggest one, is all of the different topics that are going on in the class. Maybe the teacher has broken it up into different groups. Maybe it's all the different reading groups within a classroom, and so group A will have a specific project that they're working on, or maybe they want to talk about a brand new discussion coming up in the next week. So students can easily navigate the different topics going on in the classroom in this section below.
Below on this screen, we have our Google Classroom information. If you were to click this class link, it would take you directly to the classroom. We also have a Google Meet code that is located under our Classroom tab. Daily office hours are from 1:12 to 2:12. Students who have any issues or concerns are asked to email to have an office hour set up, so we don't have any technology conflicts or issues. I want to thank you all for coming this evening.
and checking out this presentation. I look forward to a great year and getting to know your children, and I hope you stay safe and well.